talk to you all and tell you that I'm really in the doghouse following such nice speakers, and with their titles, I've learned a whole lot about something I didn't know about. I didn't know Sally York, and I knew Martha Menino, and so I just slide along. I'm glad to know about the suffragettes because that happened when I was a baby, but it did happen. So when I was 5 years old, the women got to vote, and so I put up with it these 93 years. My topic is going to be about Margaret Hunter. Now, Margaret Hunter was a lady of the 19th century. I do not know her exact year that she was born, but I do know she died in 1896. So she was on the scene for most of that century. I have to go back to Vienna, Virginia to tell you about her background because that is really of importance. A Mr. John Hunter came to Vienna earlier than 1770, and he got some land. I guess he bought it. He didn't get a grant, I don't think. And he married the daughter of a Charles Broadwater who had built an early home in the Vienna area. Well, John Hunter and Jane Broadwater became married, and they built a house called Hare Hill, which was reputedly the second house in Vienna. And Hare Hill was the name of a stop on the railroad that came through about 1850, 1855. So they started calling the station at Hare Hill. And then, lo and behold, it became Hare Hill. So that was how Hare Hill became established in Vienna. Now, Margaret Hunter was the daughter of George Washington Hunter Sr. He was born in 1976, and he had 7 children. And Margaret Hunter was the youngest. Well, no, youngest or older? The youngest. The last one. So she had that distinction. Her great-grandfather was Charles Broadwater, and her grandfather was John Hunter. So these two really outstanding and quite early families of Vienna were in her lineage. One was a great-grandfather, one a grandfather. So we don't know. I was not able to find out, so I don't know whether it's been printed. But she became known because her father, George Washington Hunter Sr., moved with her to various houses in Vienna. I think, but I haven't been able to prove, that she was at Moorfield. And the other house that she lived in and became known for was the Margaret Hunter house. I think George Washington Hunter Sr., and we have to designate these people because we have a junior come along later, built a house because it said that he built this house for his daughter, and then they moved into it. Well, being the youngest child, I think often means that they get the advantage of knowing their parents longer, and sometimes if things don't go the way they want, they don't get married perhaps, and so they become very well acquainted with their parents, and it they get to know what happened early on in the Vienna area. So that was quite nice, and they were there during the Civil War, of course. But nobody has recorded it according to what we've not found. We have not found anything about what went on, except in the case of Hunter Mill, we do know that it was part of a Lewis, L-E-W-I-S, grant, and was one of the Lewis mills in the county, because that family built mills along the different water courses, and they're known today by other names, of course, but Hunter Mill was one of them, of course, and then there were two or three between this area and the river, because Difficult Run was a good, productive stream and was able to house or power a lot of mills. So the family was active. I think her father died about in the middle of 1850s, I believe. And as I said, I can't tell you how old she was, but the seventh child of a union in 1776 could have been around the turn of the century. And that's when her great-grandfather died, Charles Broadwater. I think it was 1806. And and then there was I did not find, what I did for research for this is a book on Vienna by my wife, Connie. This was Vienna, Virginia. And then there was another book that she published called This was Virginia, in which we published 494 pictures taken by a gentleman by the name of J. Harry Shannon. And luckily, as we were thinking about the book, we found one of his pictures was the Hunter House. So here we have two books that mention, and of course the book on Vienna mentions her all the way through, as it does Hunter Mill, because Hunter Mill was up for sale quite often, and then when somebody would buy it, they didn't pay for it, and then it would be in a suit in Fairfax County. So we had that information. And when I was working with a group in Oakton called the Greater Oakton Civic Association or something, in 1976, we decided let's do something. And so we said we'll get a history of Oakton written. So there was a popular writer by the name of Deanne Evans. So I talked to Deanne, whom I knew, and I've always been censured for this because I paid her the magnificent sum of $400 to write that book. And the librarian at Fairfax really does jump on me for that. Mayo, are you sure you could afford that? Well, anyway, Deanne wrote about Oakton. That was the top purpose. And I said, Deanne, add something about Hunter Mill, because it has a very long and illustrious history. Well, she didn't add too much. She wrote the whole thing in 90 days. And that's pretty quick to write a book. So we didn't get much out of that. But in Connie's book about Vienna, there's a whole lot about the Hunter and Broadwater